quick interview with the band Flowers for Taco. First question: how'd you guys come up with the name? It's an interesting and different name for a band. That's why I had to ask.
I used to work here, and they needed a band to fill in, and I had my brother and a friend of mine. We were playing songs, and we're like, we'll do the band. And I had no name, and I was watching an episode of The League. A bunch of comedians who do fantasy football live. The character's name is Taco, and it's based off a book, Flowers Algernon, I believe. And it's a spin-off of that, basically. He's like the idiot of the group. They force him to stop smoking marijuana, and then he remembers he can speak French, and he was an astrophysicist.
Hey, you guys are coming off a great night of music, so.
But anyway, that was the name of the episode, and we went with it, and it's funny and different, and I never get tired of telling this story.
I've heard you say the story like 10 times.
Yeah.
So how long has the band been together?
6 months.
Yeah, about 4 to 6 months.
It has to be longer than that. The way you guys, both times I saw you guys perform, it seems like you've been together and playing, like with the way you play off each other and everything. It seems a lot longer than that, honestly.
Well, him and I, we've been in bands since 7th grade together. First band, and we met DJ this year through our old guitar player, and we just started jamming and started improvising and just kind of push each other to keep going in weird directions that not a lot of people are doing around the valley right now.
Yeah, third set, when you said about the reggae, I can only think of like maybe one other main band that does the reggae in the area, and it's like,
We actually played the reggae for like a more shuffle, but faster tonight.
Yeah.
Normally when we play the reggae, we play the reggae.
The one drop, or a lot of these songs aren't reggae songs, and we kind of give it that vibe because I love reggae. He loves reggae. He doesn't love reggae.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys did Fly Like an Eagle, I was like, holy shit, that sounds cool. And you're talking, I'm 43, I grew up with the song, so.
We also, I was 3, I was listening to this stuff, so this is all stuff we all grew up on.
When I was 3, had Elvis Presley. I'm sorry, I'm one of the few people I've never been a fan of Elvis. But, so, like, how do you guys come up with the set list? I mean, it can't be easy.
We usually come up with it for the show.
Okay.
So we just kind of go over what we want to do with improv and stuff like that. We try and flip it around so not every show is different. So our schedules are all really crazy. So like I was saying earlier, it's hard to learn new songs, especially when we got gigs every other week. So, the utilization of a lot of improv helps kind of create the set list for itself.
Okay.
So, if something we opened up before in the first set as our opener could actually, be a closer for the third set, and it has a completely different feel than it would, when we first used it before.
So it's important for you guys to give people something different every time versus just kind of like the same.
Exactly, even if it's the same song that they've heard before,
Our songs evolve.
Yeah, they change a lot.
They change form every time.
Okay.
We don't like playing a song the same way more than twice.
Yeah. Like tonight we did the Cocaine into Sunshine, Fear of Love.
That was wicked.
And we've been doing that for a couple of shows, and now tonight is probably the last night that we were going to do that for a while and find something else, to do like a fun percussive section.
Okay. Now, a couple of questions, and I know you guys are tired. It's been it's pretty much 4th of July has been a long day for everybody between the partying and the fireworks. Now, I took notice, instead of you guys like going from one song into another, what I call a slide, you guys actually mix it together and then mix songs together within the same song. How'd you guys come up with that versus just, okay, we're going to go from one song into the next? You actually do, with the, with the cocaine, it was literally like a DJ mix where it's like you brought it up and then you took it back down. So it was almost like a DJ mix versus just, okay, well, we're going to do 30 seconds of one song and then cut it. I've seen some bands that pull it off. I've seen others that I'm like, ouch,
I've seen a lot of bands in the Valley that they do songs that sound similar to each other. Danny California by the Chili Peppers and Last Dance with Mary Jane by Tom Petty. It's almost
a chord difference.
It's almost the same exact song when you're listening to the verses.
And if you saw that they got sued because of that, that's why we kind of do that mashup, because it's kind of like a funny.
We really like that whole the seamlessness of going from one song to another, almost in a DJ like fashion.
Yeah.
But then to really look really in depth into the music and how each song is played, what key the songs are in, what chord it starts on and ends on, and trying to look at where we can get some songs to blend better in the transition area, and then that kind of gives us a little bit of inspiration for the amount of improv that we do, because while we're on stage, we're trying to figure out okay, these are the songs that we want to play next. How do we get there?
Okay.
So we're constantly looking to each other for that next step of the improv that's going to get us to the next song, and it always makes it interesting. It's always different.
So you guys really look at the technical side also, though.
Oh, definitely.
Last 3 shows we played, we actually took a risk. We flipped one song from a different tempo, different genre, and we pulled it off. So that's why we're a band that we're not scared to.
We just started messing around with the mashup of I Just Want to Make Love to You by Foghat and Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, shit.
That's fun.
Yeah, I know both very well.
So, and one other song, the last note from that song led us right into Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of stuff like that. A lot of, like it says, as long as you know a key to songs, and a lot of those artists, Cream and Clapton, did, the only difference between Cocaine and Sunshine is that little descended
filler.
Triplet riff that they're doing. Other than that, down is Cocaine or Sunshine until you get to the second part of the riff.
Yeah.
So that can just be switched on and off. The same with I was jamming. We were doing Fly Like an Eagle, and we played Zeppelin's The Ocean, but I was just messing around with the riff again, and then I heard, well, this actually could fit over this. That could possibly be another whole mashup. Now that we do that, we've been doing a little tease of Exodus in there. We did a little Doobie Brothers thing after Last Dance with Mary Jane. It's just kind of just doing it, even if we mess it up. It's just that.
Chances are people don't pick up on it anyway. It's, unless they're really looking for it.
You hear that, you tweak out. But.
Yeah, or unless you're like a true, oh wow, well I'm a diehard Doobie Brothers fan. They screwed up, most people are just like, wow, that sounded really cool.
We're all our own worst critics, so if we mess it up, we always record our shows and go back and listen to what we've done, because anyone who's played a live show will probably agree with me on this. Once you play the show, you forget what you think earlier, it just kind of.
I'm sure after a while, one show blends into the next, blends into the next,
We like
and
to record everything and hear, all get together as a band, listen to what we liked, and we get the feedback sometimes. A lot of times you don't get any feedback, so you don't know if the crowd likes it or not. But if we like it, that's all that really matters.
yeah, sometimes if you just watch the crowd as you're playing, you can get that will give you the feedback.
So we're super happy about that.
So, two final questions. This is something I've actually heard recently from some of the bands, and to a point I agree with it, okay? A lot of people say that, especially in the venues, that the Lehigh Valley right now really doesn't have that much of a music scene. Not so much the bands, but the actual venues themselves versus, and they're, obviously they're looking back 15, 20 years where you would go out and you'd go out to listen to music, the alcohol and the food would come second. Now it seems like it's almost the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But with the new arena and with things happening in Allentown, do you guys see that possibly the shift going the other direction again?
Oh yeah, I mean right now it's so new in the valley. Like you don't know. When have you ever said, "Oh, we're gonna go to Bethlehem to see a concert"?
Yeah.
There's so much competition with Philly and New York. It's getting there little by little, and
Like having places like the event center,
Yeah.
PPL Center coming real soon. I mean, that definitely gives us like kind of like a glimmer of hope when like we had like much smaller venues like Crocodile Rock or Sterling Hotel, for example, and really small places, but again, they were great venues. I mean, it's almost like like Main Gate. I mean, other than that, like where are you actually going to go into a bar that has a stage?
yeah.
You know?
For right now,
Like, we're
original
all
music
really
is
relying on
incredibly
bars.
hard to really push around.
Yeah.
Because you only have so much of it. You couldn't play hardcore music at the Steel Pub.
Yeah.
It's just, but you go down to Manayunk and there's bars all over the place that allow you to do that kind of thing, and people like to go out and see live music like that. Here, even just cover bands, it's hard for people because everybody's playing the same stuff. So why are they going to keep adding bands that are doing?
It was always
Hey,
the guy hiding behind the column.
Everybody's doing all the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the guy behind the column, right? Just watch. Hey, we see you. Everybody sees you. Bring that shit.
Final question for.
We just enjoy playing here. We all grew up here. It's just fun to be playing around. And hopefully we're bringing a different vibe to stuff and kind of giving the idea to people just like take risks. Stop playing what you think people want to hear and start playing what you want to do. Make it fun and happy.
Yeah.
And eventually people will get on the same roller coaster.
I think you guys just answered my final question too, which is I always end with, no matter whether it's an artist, a band, or a writer, like your advice to other musicians out there, whether they're a teen, in their teens, like maybe at school rock or something, or someone who is as ancient as I am, or even back further into the dinosaur era.
Just gotta
Like,
know your roots, man. Just gotta know where
It's
the
one
good
thing to get a
music's coming
paycheck,
from.
but you gotta do what you love, and then people actually respect you.
Yeah, that's one thing I always say. Music is all about fun and expression. You can't express what someone else expects you to do, and it's not an expression anymore. You have to do what you love, what you like. People will get along.
Yeah, I mean we're up there on stage laughing, having a great time. When you see us playing, half the time we're all laughing at each other because we either know where we're going with the song or we have no idea what we're doing.
Sometimes
And
we don't
it
know where
makes
we're
it
going, and
fun
we're looking at
and
each other
exciting.
and
And then
Wow.
there's you get that little tick of like, I can hear it. That's where we're going with this. All right, and then it does it.
But when a band's up there having fun versus just standing in one spot and playing, the crowd picks up on that then.
Yeah.
And then it's like almost like the band feeds off that.
I always feel that I just stand up there and I freeze sometimes, but then, like I said, when you're in the moment, you're playing and you're like, hey, this is so much fun. You just kind of portray how you're feeling playing this music, and hopefully people are picking it up.
Yeah.
Especially when people are actually into the music. That's one of the best feelings ever is watching people dig
playing
music that
music,
you're playing.
rock music from the best era.
Yeah.
Now, what is the best era? I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I've heard some people say the 90s. What's the best era of music for you guys? Honestly.
Yeah.
It has to be late 60s to early 80s. But, I mean, right now, there's so much. We haven't even dabbled in the 90s stuff that we all grew up with. A lot of that Incubus Foo Fighters stuff.
Yeah.
That's like our.
Hey, I like Incubus and the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeppelin. Those guys are the staples of what was to come with music. There's still so much that we want to dabble in, and just give give credit to these guys for, we grew up on this stuff as much as the next guy, except we didn't get to see half of them because they're all dying. But
This is what drugs will do to you 30 years later.
But this is, we're just going to continue to keep playing this and having fun with it as much as we can.
Okay.
We're very excited. We'll be back here, Music Fest, August 9th.
Oh, that alone will be. This place will be.
Yeah, we hope so. Like I said, we seem to be getting a lot of new people, a lot of new faces, and old faces too, which is crazy. There's not a lot of people that follow bands to Bethlehem, let alone cover bands. And we've got a couple. Hampton and stuff.
Oh, that'll grow.
So.
Yeah, you guys will definitely get bigger and bigger in the area. That much I could tell, especially after seeing a set and a half tonight. So
We're just gonna keep it as real as we can.
well, thanks a lot for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of the 4th of July weekend. Above all, be safe.